We welcome our next presenting company. We welcome Saf, CEO of iMetal Resources. Hello, Saf. Welcome to Investor Hot Seat. Are you here with us? There you go.
Unmute. Okay, Carol, we'll try this again. You can hear me okay now?
There you go. I can hear you perfectly. I can see you perfectly, and I can see your presentation.
Nice. Okay.
We're ready to go.
Thank you. iMetal Resources is a junior Canadian mining company. I'm based here in Vancouver, British Columbia. I've got the ticker symbols on the first page. I won't go read them again. As we're a public company, we're going to have some forward-looking statements. There's our usual disclosure. So I guess I'm a little bit different here. There's been different types of presentations, mostly on cannabis. Looks like I'm the only mining-based company. So really, I guess the first question is, why invest in iMetal Resources? Well, there's about 1,500 plus junior mining companies listed on the TSX Venture. We've got about half a dozen projects, 5 actually in Ontario, 1 in Quebec. And Canada, if you don't mind, is the 3rd most attractive mining region in the world, with Ontario coming in 2nd place, only behind Quebec. And of all the provinces and territories in Canada, our portfolio of projects are spread out basically under 2 greenstone or gold belts. The first one being the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, which would represent, if you can see my cursor, the 2 red tags to the east of the map. And this Abitibi Greenstone Belt hosts some of the largest mining companies actually in the world. But some of the camps that are based out of this region are Noranda, Kirkland Lake, Val d'Or, of course, in Quebec. Detour Lake would be one of the largest newest discoveries over the last several years. And our focus really with these 2 projects is in a smaller, a little less unknown mining camp called the Shining Tree Camp. The second region that our other 3 projects that we acquired earlier this year are in what's called the Beardmore-Geraldton Greenstone Belt. This was actually thrust into the limelight at the ending of last year, when one of the most well-known successful Canadian mining billionaires, Ross Beatty, through his Equinox Gold, took out a major position in a project called the Hard Rock Project, and he acquired 50% of it for just under 700 million Canadian. The company is spearheaded by myself, of course. I'm the president and CEO. I've brought on Tim Henneberry, who has a 46+ year colorful career that spans the globe, and he's been involved in a number of very successful junior companies as well. One of the milestones again is that we earlier this year formed a strategic alliance with Riverside Resources, and that's how we acquired these 3 assets in the Beardmore-Geraldton Belt. Riverside Resources is another Vancouver-based Canadian mining company that's listed on the TSX Venture, and it's headed up by a gentleman named John Mark Stouty. And I'll talk about them in one of the follow-on slides. So I just really want to, again, each slide, I think I'm going to try and not get too technical, but at least kind of give you an idea of where we're at and why we're here and what's differentiates us from, you know, a lot of the thousands or hundreds of junior mining companies. Again, we're in the Greenstone, 2 of the famous Greenstone belts of Canada, with the Abitibi Greenstone Belt hosting our 2 projects here in black, the GOWGANDA West and Ghost Mountain. This Abitibi Greenstone Belt, since the very first discovery was made back in 1901, it has produced well over 200 million ounces of gold, over 400 million ounces of silver, and 15 billion tons of copper and 35 billion tons of zinc. There's 21 distinct gold deposits in this belt alone on the right-hand side, and it has a number of 3 million plus ounce deposits, some of which I've listed here. And this gold and silver, these minerals that make up the past production, were produced from over 100 different mines. Again, the province, as well as this region, hosts some of the largest companies in the world, some of the largest Canadian companies for that matter, and Kirkland Lake Gold, who basically is based here by Kirkland Lake. That's how they were founded on this discovery here. And Newmont, which happens to be the largest mining company in the world, also has a very significant presence here. We are, again, as I said, our flagship project is GOWGANDA West. We sit next to what's called the Juby deposit. The deposit is roughly a 2.2 million ounce gold deposit. And the reason why I've got Ghost Mountain here as well is this is right next to what's known as the Holt Holloway Mine Complex. This is owned by Kirkland Lake Gold, and they were in the news just late last year as well, where they formed a strategic alliance with the largest gold producer in the world, Newmont, which is part of the merger with Goldcorp. But Newmont and Kirkland Lake, they have formed a strategic alliance to get this Holt Holloway Mine Complex, which sits next to our claim block, $75 million investment to get this back into production and increase their production. Coming a little bit more into the Shining Tree Camp itself, this slide here kind of really shows you a little bit of the geography of this really underexplored camp, the GOWGANDA camp, which would be down here. But as you can see, this slide kind of really gets to show you the north and south trending faults, which run specifically through this camp. And as if you notice that there is quite a cluster that goes southeast, northwest, right through where our flagship property is based. Again, here is a snapshot of the Juby deposit. And right next to us, this is about an hour and a half away, Timmins. Timmins is a small town that was founded on the success of mining. It's also, not sure if everybody's—
You have 6 minutes left.
Okay, I will try and speed up through this. So our plan is really to unlock this undeveloped Shining Tree Camp known as GOWGANDA. Quickly go into where we are specifically. This map really shows you, again, I think I might have started off, and if I didn't, we're a $5 million market cap Canadian dollars company, and we are surrounded by a number of very successful junior and mid-tier producers. Some of the companies around us, some of our peers, their market cap ranges 10 to 20 million. But one that is of real significance for us is, of course, and we share a border with them, is a company called Eris Gold Corp. Eris is actually on the TSX, the senior board in Canada. They're roughly a $350 million market cap. They are backed by another very successful billionaire miner based out of Vancouver, Frank Justra. He's put together a world-class team, and it's now chaired by ex-chairman of Goldcorp, Ian Telfer. They have just initiated a 10,000 meter drilling program, and just north of them, and we share a border with this other company, Ore Finders. They are roughly a $10 million market cap company. They have just kicked off drilling in the last 60 days. And in the last 30 days, it was announced that one of the mid-tier majors, Kirkland Lake Gold, a $15 billion market cap company, has just invested $2.5 million by way of an equity investment in the company. And they have committed to acquire up to 75% of this project for 60 million Canadian over, that's a work commitment over the next 5 years. So this is really starting to show you that, for a $5 million market cap company, we're kind of in a hotbed of activity, and we're looking to basically kick off our exploration in about 60 to 90 days. The next few slides, I think, get a little bit too technical, so I won't really go into that. We have had about half a dozen holes that we've drilled on the property. We've had a number of grab samples. All indications have confirmed mineralization on the property. We've had grab samples as high as 56 grams per ton.
Thank you, Saf. Any questions
Oh, that was fast.
from our investor judges?
Can I just quickly add that I'm in the middle of a $2 million Canadian equity raise. We just announced that on Tuesday, and the plans are to use these funds to basically commence on a 2,500 meter drill program at our flagship property, GOWGANDA West.
Thank you, Saf. Claudia?
Yeah, so quick question. Did you do already the reserves reports? They're called differently in different regions of the world. I used to call them JORC in Asia. So did you do all the reserve reports already?
Well, our property still doesn't have a proven resource. That's what the money is going to be used for. So we've done a grab sampling, has confirmed gold mineralization. I don't think I can go back to the slide, but if anybody wants to, connect with me afterwards, I think I can go over that. But that's really what this whole drilling program is going to do. It's going to set out to confirm a resource, develop that resource. There's talk of potential further M&A in the region, and we basically want to confirm what we have before we even talk to any of the mid or majors in the area.
So you're raising capital mostly to do this, to
Yes.
do like the reserve. And then what's the plan? Do you want to sell it once you prove the reserves
Well,
to a bigger
I
major
can't.
company?
Yes. Sorry, Claudia. That's a really good question. I can't really answer that until I know what I have, and I won't know what I have until I commence further drilling. We actually partnered with Riverside for a couple of reasons. We acquired those 3 portfolio projects, but they have a world-class technical team. They've worked with Teck. They are currently working with BHP, 2 of the majors, and we actually just had them on our property in the last 3 weeks, and we're awaiting about 100 samples from their first work program that they've performed on the property. So we're excited about, moving our relationship forward with them. And again, I really want to reiterate that I don't think we're ready to talk to anybody yet. We own this property 100%. We own all the claims. We've got the NSR. We've got an option to acquire these 3% NSRs down to 1.5% anytime prior to going into production. I'm not a geologist by trade. I've been involved in the capital markets for 15 years. I've helped grow another natural resource company. It was actually an independent power producer. I helped grow it from $2.5 million market cap to its peak of 300 million. By the end of the 12 years, it was actually producing about 40 million in revenues, and that's in US dollars. That company was called US Geothermal. We ended up doing about 100 million equity financings. I worked hand in hand with the founding director, who also was the CEO, and he also at one point was the CEO of Ivanhoe Mines. So I think you'll see in the next few weeks and months to come, we want to close our financing, commence our drilling in the next 60 to 90 days. And I think you'll be seeing that I'll be adding more at the management and at the board level, more technical expertise.